Hello, my name is Altaf. So today is the fifth day of Zoom Marathon Challenge Season 4. So today we will learn about the CSS selector. So before going the further of CSS selector, first we will learn about CSS. So basically, when we design a HTML page, we have to give some styling to the that HTML page has element like we have to design a image, a round shape image, or we have to give the size or width, height to the paragraph, or we have to add the some margin padding to that page, or some elements to the that HTML page. So for that we have a CSS. So for giving styling. So there is a option we have, that is a CSS selector. So by selecting the elements of that particular page, we can style the page. So basically we have basic selectors in the CSS selector. So basic selectors are like universal selector. So first of all, we learn about what is the universal. Universal means all that element in the HTML page can be selected by universal selector. Just like we use star for that thing in that HTML page to styling the all the element in that HTML page. We use star in the style sheet. So that is the universal selector. Then we have a type selector. Firstly, we have to select that element that is the type of things like input type. If we want to select that element, we have a type selector in the CSS thing. So we use a type selector. Then we have class selector. That is the big thing or best thing in the HTML page. If you want to add the styling to more than one element, we can use the class to the HTML page. After that, we can select that class to styling that element. Like we use dot. After that dot, we use class name to styling that element in the CSS. So we use dot then class name to style that all particular element that given class in the HTML page. Then we have ID selector. So basically, ID selector is the selecting element by ID. Just like that, we given a particular or unique ID to the HTML page element, like we used hashtag something ID or anything else ID name. We can select by hashtag in the CSS styling. So we use hashtag then ID name. We can select by that, and we can style that element by selecting that type of thing. Then we have grouping selectors. So in the CSS, grouping selector is nothing but selecting more than one element. Like if you want to select an ID and class and a tag, basically in the all the both or all the multiple element in this same tag, we can use same place. We can use comma in between that. So we can use group of elements in the CSS. So that's called grouping selector. Then we have combinators. In CSS, combinators are that we use to select multiple elements or the particular element of div or of paragraph. Just like we have descendant combinator selector. So for descendant combinator selector, we use space in between the elements. Like if we use div space p, and that means that all the elements that is inside that div, it can be a child element or it can be a grandchild element, but all the elements inside that div can be selected by space div space p, or we can say div space h1 div space h2, that all element that is occur in first element that we use in the CSS. So this is descendant, and after that we have a child selector. So a child combinator selector is nothing, but we use greater than sign to use this. It means just like we use div greater than p, it means all the child element of that div, all the child paragraph element, means just same level of the all p is the same level, means all the child is the of div, not a grandchild or not a grandson of the div. It can be only the child element. So for this we use greater than sign to select that element. Then we have general sibling selector, means all the siblings that all occur after that element that we given in the CSS. Like if we use p tilde h1, so that statement said, or that syntax saying that all the h1 that occur after that p paragraph tag, all the h1 element occur after that p, it's selected, but it can be immediate or it can be not immediate, but all the h1 tag is occur after that element can be selected. So this is the general sibling selector. Then we have adjacent sibling selector. Sibling selector means by the name we can suggest that is the means that all the elements that are occur after just element that element, like we use div plus p, it means first element that is occurred after that div, which is paragraph tag. So it can be selected by this. So if we use div plus h1, it can be that div in that after that div h1 is occurred just after that, it can be selected by a plus sign. So that's all about the CSS selector that we learned so far. We covered in this video that CSS selector, group selecting, BSS basic selectors in the CSS, and what is the CSS. So that's all about the things. Thank you.